Hello everyone, today's gonna be a special video because we just hit 50k and I went ahead on Discord to ask some of you guys to put in some questions and I'm gonna answer them for you today. So be sure to stay around for some interesting questions and some interesting answers. And if you're watching this right now, I'm streaming on Trovo and on YouTube. The channels will be linked down below, and without further ado, enjoy the Q&A. Tops asks, what do you think of the current meta? It's interesting because it's a SMG dominant meta right now and ARs aren't really that useful, with some exceptions like the Peacekeeper, the AS Val, and the LK24 and BK57. But right now you just need SMGs to win the game and some of the snipers and marksman rifles if you want to play S&D. Sushi asks, hey Kith, why did you start playing competitive and why did you quit being a competitive player? I started playing competitive I don't know, that was a long time ago. It was around last year. I was playing with iPow, with my brother Curvy, Dre, and some of the great people in Garena really. We had a dream to play big, but then I had to leave the Philippines and go to Qatar. And at the time being, I was starting this YouTube channel, so with no opportunity for me to play with my teammates. And with that, I decided to focus on content creation, and fast forward to today, we reached 50k. My Water Boy asks, what's your opinion about BR? I haven't checked BR yet for a long time because I've been mostly making content about multiplayer. But in the future, I'm definitely looking forward in playing BR with you guys. Mantic asks, Kith, which is the worst AR and SMG in your opinion? I can't really pick a worst in my opinion because every gun can be good if you use it right. But for assault rifles, I'd say it's the M4 because you won't really think of using it unless you want to have fun or try something out differently. And with the SMGs, it's gonna be the PDW or the Chickum for that matter. Again, this is only my personal opinion because I haven't played the game much since the update, so I'm about to do a lot of testing and playing on my streams. Ars Infinity asks, which is the best, hardpoint or domination? I'm just gonna go with hardpoint on this one because sometimes I kind of like the chaos that happens in the game or in the map. With domination, it gets kind of boring sometimes if you hold too long on a position, and it's always thrilling to see a hardpoint come back. So yeah, definitely hardpoint for me. Dam asks, have you tried using 5 or more fingers? I have tried using 5 fingers because I wanted to have a separate finger for aiming and for firing. But then it just got tiring for my fingers and I didn't really get used to it. So yeah, I'm now using 4 fingers and it's really more than enough for me. MD Faraz asks, Kith, do you think that COD Mobile still needs to fix the matchmaking in your opinion? What's the best AR you want to recommend for all types of players? And congrats on 50k, buddy. Thanks, Faraz. I think COD Mobile still needs to fix the matchmaking. I definitely think you do not deserve to have bad teammates or your enemies to have bad teammates on their end. I think it all should be fair. And in my opinion, the best AR that I'd recommend is if you wanna play pure AR, I'd suggest the LK24 or the BK57 as of now. Unknown asks, why do you play COD Mobile? I used to play COD Mobile because I wanted to play something that was challenging, and at the time I didn't have a console with me or a PC, so I only had my mobile, and COD Mobile was really accessible and really fun to play. Even though in season 1 I got wrecked a lot together with my brother Curvy. But nowadays I don't really play the game as much as I used to just because of the past meta. But this meta is a breath of fresh air and I'm definitely going to play a lot more while streaming on YouTube and on Trovo. Subscribe if you haven't. CJ Sama asks, what's your favorite thing about COD Mobile? To be honest, really my favorite thing about COD Mobile is the skins that you can simp on in the game. Yeah, that's what makes me come back to the game. But kidding aside, it's the friends you meet along the way, although right now I'm playing solo a lot. So what keeps me going in terms of playing COD Mobile is trying to be the best player that I can be and sharing my process with you guys. Nuclear Bomb asks, when is face reveal? Right now? Aniket asks, please tell skins matter or skills. I have attention on this question. Definitely skills matter, but skins definitely help if they have better iron sights. But at the end of the day, skills win games, to be honest. Pew Pew Pow asks, What are your favorite guns and why? So I'm just gonna take you through my all-time favorites because as the game progresses, there are some guns that stuck to me and I remember using daily. So I'm just gonna go with that. So going off the top of my head, the HBR Dragon Dance is there just because I've used it a lot when it was still not available for everyone. The LK24, of course. The Rust 79U because that's the first video I ever made. And lastly, the QQ9 because it's just so fun to use. Care7 asks, most viable guns this season? Definitely almost all guns are viable, but if you're asking about the meta, you just need the QXR and the PP19 to win the gunfights. To win most gunfights. Otherwise, you can try out the Peacekeeper, the AS Val, the QQ9, and some other guns that might interest you. Ashura asks, so can a beginner in sniping like me who doesn't know about the thing about snipe, can use snipers or are they nerfed so heavily that it's almost impossible for me to start sniping? You can definitely start sniping right now, Ashura, because pro players that I know are still using the DLQ, the Locust, and the Arctic, even though they got nerfed. Remember that good players still find a way to prevail because they're good. That's what separates them from normal players. And if you don't like the snipers, you can try out the marksman rifles. The MK2 and the SPR are really good right now, and I think you should try sniping with them. Ayame on Discord asks, why did you decide to create content and why did you decide that it is the game called mobile? I decided to create content because I saw a void in the genre itself that there aren't much content creators that make proper tips and tricks videos, so I tried to be that person. So when I started playing COD Mobile, I would watch tutorials from other games to apply those disciplines into the game because I haven't been a huge FPS player unlike my brother, so I had to definitely learn some fundamentals and I try to share them to you through my content. Dust asks, what's your favorite map and why? For my favorite map, it would definitely be Standoff because I don't know, I just like the map that much and I have played competitive where I perform well and that's how it became my favorite map. If you're gonna ask my second favorite, it's gonna be Firing Range just because it's a classic COD map and you can perform well in it and there's a lot of tips and tricks online that it is already out there before COD Mobile came out. Goku asks, what's your favorite gun and why? Right now this season, it's gonna have to be the Peacekeeper just because it's not that overpowered, but it is viable and competitive enough to go toe-to-toe against the meta guns right now. Asylum006 asks, was COD Mobile your first mobile shooter or were there any other shooters you played on mobile? If yes, can you tell which were they? I definitely played PUBG Mobile with my brother before I played COD Mobile. It was actually my brother who told me about the launch of COD Mobile, but then upon trying it, I didn't like it, so I kept playing PUBG for a while. But then when I got to play multiplayer, that's when things changed and I completely switched to COD Mobile. AEW Akasaka asks, how to be you? You definitely don't want to be me. Just focus on being you. You can copy your favorite pro players, your favorite content creators, but when you combine all of that and when you put something unique that is within you, you become a completely whole different person, and that's what makes you you. Nuclear Bomb again asks, what are the best settings to use? The best settings to use are what's most comfortable to you, and I think you should avoid copying other pro players or content creators settings. Just make them as a baseline and then find your way and then find your own sensitivity and settings from there. Merlin asks, where do you think COD Mobile is going right now? Which direction? Up or down? Elaborate your opinions. I definitely think with how young COD Mobile is, it's only going to go up from here because we're definitely getting some recognition from the PC and console world, and with mobile gaming being the largest market right now, we're definitely in a good position and it's not too late to create content. It's not too late to start trying to play competitively if you want to become the best in COD Mobile. Bruh asks, what are your future plans for COD Mobile content? Of course, there's definitely more room for improvement when it comes to content. I want it to be the best COD Mobile content that you can watch, and in the future, I'll be trying to hire some people to do the editing because it's really time consuming, having to do the writing, the editing, the voice recording, all that, and even the thumbnails while trying to play the game itself. So in the future, I'll definitely hire some people to do that work for me so I can just focus on playing and interacting with you guys. It's RedX asks, COD Mobile is fine and all, but will you try other games too, like Apex and PUBG Mobile? I have tried PUBG Mobile and it's really a fun game that I played with my friends and my brothers in the past. Apex Mobile, I'm going to have to try it when it comes out, but for now, let's focus on COD Mobile. GB Seolor asks, how many times have you adjusted your sensitivity and HUD settings? When I was starting out, I definitely adjusted my HUD and sensitivity a lot because I always got caught up trying to copy the best pro player, the best content creator, and their whatever settings they may have. So one day I ended up trying to copy Godsley's HUD because it really seemed comfortable for him, and I was trying to use 4 fingers at the time, so I just tried to copy his HUD together with Bolu actually. So I found the HUD that works best for me and stuck with it. And as for the sensitivity, I used medium sense for the longest time until a certain update that just messed up my sensitivity. I don't know. So I wanted to find my true sensitivity. That's why I searched for YouTube videos on how to find your best sensitivity. And from there, I made my own video on how to find your starting sensitivity, and you guys should check that out if you're struggling with sensitivities as well. Gemini asks, what else do you do besides gaming? Besides gaming, I do most of my work when it comes to editing thumbnails and videos, and also the writing of my stuff. So yeah, when I'm not gaming, I watch movies and I cook food, and that's about it. There's nothing much you can do right now in this pandemic, and I try to stay indoors to keep everyone around me safe. Pew Pew Pow asks, why are you in Qatar right now? Long story short, Philippines is just not it right now when it comes to healthcare. So our parents thought it was the best to bring us here to keep us safe from the pandemic. Raven asks, in an alternate reality where COD Mobile doesn't exist, what game would you play and post in your channel? If I had to play games and post or stream in my channel, it would be the Kingdom Hearts series, if you know that. It's a really interesting game where you wield Keyblades together with Mickey Mouse and other Disney characters, or Hideo Kojima's Metal Gear Solid series. That's a game I played growing up, and I'm really sad that it had to stop because of the thing between Konami and Kojima. Carl Half asks, what do you do if you're bored in COD Mobile? I actually bought a mini hoop that I shoot on whenever I get bored, or I watch series on Netflix or movies that I want to watch. But if I get really bored, I turn to cooking meatballs and cookies and anything I want to cook. Shomai asks, what's your message for small aspiring COD Mobile content creators? I have 3 tips for you. 1 is to use your unfair advantage, meaning if you have a famous friend, if you have the best internet or the best PC, use that to your advantage. Second content is make content that you want to watch. If you want to watch montages, create that. If you want to watch tips and tricks, create that. If you like watching COD Mobile memes, make that. And my third tip is find a way to be unique, because with a lot of content creators out there, you need to be unique in order for them to keep coming back. Ace Grape asks, how to control the recoil of the Pharaoh? The Pharaoh still doesn't have a set recoil, so just pull down, I guess. Ashura asks, can Fennec be viable in current season of MP5s and MP7s? To be simply put, it can be viable, but it won't outgun those consistently. Top 5 ARs, it's gonna be in no particular order. It's the AS Val, the Peacekeeper, the LK24, the BK57, and for the last one, it would be just for fun, AK117. Pew Pew Pow asks, what are your thoughts of the sniper nerf and the current meta? The current meta is good, but when it comes to the sniper nerf, it's gonna take a lot of skill and practice to learn snipers right now. And it's definitely a challenge, and I'm willing to accept the challenge and relearn sniping and be good at it. Ash1277 asks, what is the place that you would like to visit once in your lifetime? I definitely want to visit your mom. No, I'm kidding. I want to visit... I definitely want to visit New York sometime in my life, but I'm definitely getting there. You just have to wait and see. It's Red X asks, are you single? Nope. Lamar asks, would you rather use ARs over SMGs? No, I'd use SMGs. I'm sorry, bud. Anirudh asks, wow, that's a lot of questions. How big did you expect the channel to grow when you started? I didn't really expect it to grow this big, this fast, but I definitely counted on my abilities for it to grow sometime in the future. When I started, it definitely didn't play out like I imagined it to be. I wasn't getting many views, not until I uploaded the movement video that I think it has 300k views right now, and that kept me going to keep making content for everyone. What are your hobbies other than gaming? I cook, I watch movies, I like going to the gym, but with the pandemic right now I can't really do that, so I like exercising. Yeah, if you had a chance to meet someone in person, who would that be? I would like to meet maybe Nadeshot or HYPERX. I just want to really learn a lot from them when it comes to content creation and how they made it big. Some funny or inspiring experience from your life you'd like to share? Not really, I'd keep that to myself. Louis asks, question, where did you get that intro back sound? It sounded really simple, yet it's really cool. Oh, you mean this?